It was perfect. Perfect.
Woo! Yeah, baby! That's what I'm talking about! That's why he's the MVP! That's why he's the GOAT!
NetherRealm could be planning the next Mortal Kombat game as we speak, and today I'll be explaining which characters will make the roster. Keep in mind, I predicted 90% of the MK11 roster and that Scarlet would be at the reveal event. Plus, I predicted many characters for MK1 as well. So I'm not just slinging rumors today, these characters are extremely likely to be in Mortal Kombat 2, or whatever NetherRealm decides to call it. First up, we have the cancelled Kombat Pack 3 characters. According to popular insiders, Mortal Kombat 1 was stopped early, and if that's true, then NetherRealm is very likely to include those cancelled characters in the next game instead. And the most likely character is Jade, because she's the only classic ninja to be left out of Mortal Kombat 1. Even Tremor made the roster despite only being a cameo, but still, he's in the game. Jade is the only classic ninja to not make it into Mortal Kombat 1, at least not yet. So if Mortal Kombat 1 gets finished without ever adding Jade, then she's guaranteed to be in the next game. In fact, if I was a gambling man, then I would bet that Jade would make the base roster, as in no waiting for DLC. She's gonna be in the game day one, along with her own playable chapter and hopefully a decent role in the story overall. But with that said, there's a catch. If Jade makes it into Mortal Kombat 1, it's possible she replaces Tanya, because their gameplay is very similar as is their role in the story. Normally, Jade is the royal bodyguard and she fights with a pole staff, but for Mortal Kombat 1, that was Tanya. She's suddenly the new royal bodyguard and fights with a weapon very similar to Jade's, which is why I think Jade could replace Tanya. But on top of that, keep in mind, these two characters have never been in the same NetherRealm game. That's right, it's never happened. Mortal Kombat 9 was missing Tanya, Mortal Kombat X was missing Jade, Mortal Kombat 11 was missing Tanya, and then Mortal Kombat 1 was missing Jade. For whatever reason, these two characters never get to be on the same roster. So if history does repeat itself, and oftentimes history does repeat, then Jade could very well replace Tanya in the next game. Keep in mind, I don't want that to happen, but it's a possibility, which is a bummer. So hey, let's check out something cool. Check out the ObsBot Meet 2. It might look tiny, but this bad boy is 4K. In fact, it's the smallest 4K webcam available, making it compact, lightweight, and perfect for any laptop, and of course any desktop as well, with 3 different colors: Cloud White, Space Gray, and Aurora Green. Like mentioned earlier, this camera is 4K at 30 frames per second or 1080p at 60 frames per second, making it the perfect camera for streaming. But on top of that, it's perfect for low light conditions. I have my lights off during this recording, and look how easily you can see everything. In other words, this webcam is perfect for streaming even at night, which many streamers love to do. And guess what else? The setup is extremely easy. You plug and play, that's it. It's also got a tiny magnetic stand, which makes mounting it super easy. But next up, we have auto framing and gesture control, which allows you to operate the camera with basic gestures. In other words, it's hands-off. You don't have to touch to make it frame you and work for you. You get all of that for about $130 US. That's right, this webcam is extremely affordable. You will not find any camera that powerful for that amazing of a price. So what are you waiting for? Click my link down below in the pinned comment or video description to get yourself an ObsBot Meet 2 today. It's an incredible webcam that does everything for an affordable price. In my honest opinion, there's no better camera to buy right now. Alright, and back to the video. I think Nightwolf also has a great chance of being in the next Mortal Kombat game. In fact, he's pretty much guaranteed, because not only is Nightwolf a fan favorite character, but he's arguably the most popular character to not be in Mortal Kombat 1. Then on top of that, he's one of the few classic characters to not be in Mortal Kombat 1, making his debut in Mortal Kombat 3. So Nightwolf has been with the series for a while, and yet even so, he tends to skip a game, or sometimes two. But for Mortal Kombat 1, I think Nightwolf has a great chance of showing up and hopefully play a pretty big role too, because the guy can use magic, he's got a great connection to nature, so I think Nightwolf has a great chance of coming back for those big reasons. reasons. Next up, I want to talk about Scarlet, who's a bit of an underdog with a lower chance than some other characters mentioned later in this video, but even so, she's a fan favorite character in her own right, which is more than enough reason for NetherRealm to bring her back. And since Megan Fox made Natara extremely unlikable, Scarlet could replace her as the blood magic character in Mortal Kombat 2, or whatever the developers decide to call it. As mentioned earlier, she's not as guaranteed as the other characters in this video, but if I was a gambling man, I'd say it's a coin flip, right? 50-50. In other words, Scarlet has an equal chance of being in the game or missing out on the sequel. But with that said, one of Mortal Kombat 1's biggest issues was not having enough villains, so NetherRealm does need some more bad guy characters, or bad lady characters in this instance. So that could give Scarlet a better chance of being in the game. They need more evil villains in the next game, especially for the ladies. But next up, let's talk Hotaru, because Mortal Kombat 1 kept mentioning Saito over and over again, and for anyone watching who's not aware, Saito is literally where Hotaru is from. It's the Order Realm, and I think Hotaru is a general or something like that. And since Mortal Kombat 1 has Havoc, it makes perfect sense that the sequel would have Hotaru, because these two characters are rivals. Havoc is an agent of chaos, and Hotaru is an agent of order, so these two characters are rivals at birth. Now with that said, I'm not certain if Havoc will be in the next game. It's very possible he is not, but even so, I think Hotaru is nearly guaranteed. The only thing I'm not certain about is if he'll be base roster or a DLC character in Kombat Pack 1. But when it comes to his moveset, I've got no idea what to expect, because in the 3D era, his attacks were not interesting at all. He fought with a spear, which is a bit unique, but overall, his moveset and attacks were extremely forgettable, so hopefully NetherRealm does a whole revamp of his toolset, very similar to Ashura, right? That character also had a very forgettable moveset and attacks, and yet in Mortal Kombat 1, she's one of the most interesting and fun characters to play, which is why I expect Hotaru to get a very similar treatment. He's going to return in the next game, but his attacks are going to be completely different, that way he actually feels unique and original. However, everybody watching is likely wondering why I haven't mentioned Jax and Sonya yet. The honest answer is because they're guaranteed. We know both these characters are going to be in the next MK game. Not only because they're fan favorite characters like everyone else mentioned so far in this video, but also fans were so mad they were cameos in MK1 and not main characters. The fact that NetherRealm took two fan favorite characters from the original games and relegated them to cameos has never stopped upsetting people. For me personally though, I never freaked out about it because I understand the roster only has so much room and NetherRealm wanted to shove in more 3D era characters, which meant certain characters had to sit it out. But NetherRealm definitely took notice of how angry fans were about this whole situation, so they're not gonna miss out on including Sonya and Jax in the upcoming game. Anyway, let's move on to a unique character, Chrome. That's right, this character has a long history within the fan base of Mortal Kombat, but he's never actually been a playable character in the games. And yet, he's still got a crazy amount of fans somehow. And on top of that, we just got the T-1000, whose moveset and liquid metal abilities would be perfect for Chrome. So yeah, NetherRealm has no excuse not to put this character in the next game. Now, does that make it guaranteed? No, not at all, but I'm just saying the odds have never been higher. Chrome has the best chance ever of being in the next Mortal Kombat game. Next up, we have the Combat Kids. Yes, I know, I can hear everyone shouting at their screens right now because the Combat Kids are not very popular. But even so, I think they have a decent chance of being in the next game, at least a couple of them, because don't forget, if Kombat Pack 3 was cancelled and Kung Jin or Cassie Cage were planned, then NetherRealm is likely to put them in this next game instead. Plus, NetherRealm is kind of low on characters when you think about it. Many fan favorite characters were in Mortal Kombat 1, and they can't just repeat that roster, so NetherRealm might have to include the Combat Kids just for variety's sake. I mean, either that or add a bunch of new characters, which I don't think NetherRealm is confident about. Which means, yeah, some Combat Kids could return. But it feels like I'm forgetting someone, a fan favorite character who was planned for Mortal Kombat 1 but didn't quite make it in. Oh yeah, Erron Black. This guy has a pretty good chance of being in the next game, not only for the reasons I just mentioned, but also because Super loves this character, and NetherRealm loves Super. Ed Boon loves Super. Which means if Super prays hard enough and we all keep our fingers crossed, then maybe our favorite cowboy gunslinger could make it in to Mortal Kombat 2. Now with that said though, Stryker has an equally good chance, and I don't think that NetherRealm would put two different gun boys in the same game. So if Stryker makes it in, then Erron Black is out, and if Erron Black makes it in, then Striker's chances go through the floor. However, it's time for the last character of today's video, my boy Kai. That's right, this character has been missing ever since Mortal Kombat 4, and I've mentioned him a lot on this channel in several different videos, including recent videos. So I don't want to sound redundant, I'll keep things brief. Kai's been missing for so long, and his moveset is unique, as is his role in the story and his character design too, which is why I think it would be perfect for him to return in the next game. Does that make it likely? I'm honestly not sure, because on the one hand, I think NetherRealm would be stupid not to include this guy, and also he does get name dropped in Mortal Kombat 1, so his chances seem likely. However, at the same time, NetherRealm is really good at just including the same characters in every game instead of giving the underdogs a chance, which means Kai could lose his spot to a returning character instead, which I really hope it doesn't happen. But let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Which characters do you want to be in the next Mortal Kombat game, either because they're your favorite or because you think they're more likely since you've played the recent games and you got an idea of how NetherRealm thinks. Whatever your logic or reasoning might be, let me know which characters you want or think will be in the next Mortal Kombat game, because I love making these videos interactive. So make sure to grab that keyboard and make your voices heard, because I love reading each and every comment. Thanks for watching, everyone, and I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, please leave a like down below, it helps the channel out a ton, and then finish that combo by subscribing and ringing that bell so you never miss any future videos. Make sure to come back next time, and as always, stay underdogs.